What will happen when a girl secretly brings a dog home, knowing her mother dislikes them? When her mother finds out, she's furious. But just as she's about to take action, the dog does something amazing that completely changes her mind and wins her heart. Hazel watched her kids play joyfully outside from the kitchen window. They were having a great time near the woods, their laughter filling the air. Her heart swelled with happiness, but then one of them suddenly stopped, eyes wide with surprise. The older child realized they needed their mom and hurried to find her. Hazel dashed outside, drawn by the urgent call. Her heart sank as she saw the familiar figure approaching, a stray dog they had taken in and loved like family. Although the dog belonged to the village, everyone cared for him. He had a special bond with Hazel's family and visited them often. But today, something was terribly wrong. The once scruffy but lovable dog, Leo, looked worse than ever. His fur was tangled and he limped badly. His body was covered in wounds. Hazel gasped in shock, realizing he might have had a fight with another animal. As Leo staggered closer, it was clear he needed urgent medical care. Hazel quickly told her older child to call her husband and explain that Leo was badly hurt. Hazel knew she couldn't help Leo alone. He had always been nervous around adults, only letting the village kids pet him. Leo had a tough past that made him distrustful of grown-ups. The only ones he trusted were Hazel's children, who had shown him endless kindness and patience. As Leo reached Hazel, he sat down with great effort and looked up at her with tired eyes. Before Hazel could react, Leo suddenly collapsed. In panic, she screamed for her husband, who had just stepped out of the garage. He hurried over, quickly assessed the situation, and gently lifted Leo, carrying him to the garden shed. Hazel sprang into action, clearing a space on the table and laying out a towel to make a temporary treatment area. Her husband placed Leo on the table and began checking him over. Although not a vet, he knew enough about animal care to act fast. He discovered that Leo had a sprained leg but no broken bones. The most worrying issue was the many bite marks on his body. Hazel, tears streaming down her face, carefully cleaned the wounds, her mind racing to understand how Leo had ended up so hurt. The kids watched, crying with guilt, feeling they should have taken him in sooner. They had always thought Leo preferred to be alone. Leo had first appeared in the village one day, looking frightened and alone. There were no missing dog posters, and despite searches in nearby towns, no one came forward for him. Leo was underfed and skittish, refusing to let anyone get close. The villagers left food and water for him, which he ate quickly when they weren't around. Although he started to explore a bit, he always darted back to his hiding spot whenever he saw people. Despite his fear, he seemed to accept their help from a distance. One sunny day, Leo noticed children playing outside. He watched them from afar, captivated by their joyful laughter. Hazel's children were among them, and Leo, especially drawn to them, followed as they walked home. Hazel's eldest daughter, Ariana, spotted Leo trailing behind. She had heard about the stray dog and knew he had no owner. While her friend wanted to approach Leo, her mother was hesitant. Ariana, however, saw no signs of aggression in the dog. She suspected he might be hungry, so she pulled a sandwich from her pocket and tossed it to him. Leo hesitated at first, but eventually ate the sandwich. As he finished, Ariana, feeling more confident, slowly approached him. By the time the sandwich was gone, Leo was no longer afraid of her. From then on, Leo became a regular part of Ariana's life. He waited outside her house, followed her and her sister to school, and stayed close by until they returned home. Each day, the bond between Leo and the children grew stronger. They fed him tasty treats and gently petted him, making him feel loved. But one day, Leo disappeared again and was gone for a longer time than before. The girls searched for him everywhere, but a villager told them he would come back, and he did a few weeks later. One day, while the children were playing soccer, they spotted Leo watching them from a distance. Ariana rushed over, thrilled to see him, and started petting him. Her friends joined in, and they decided to name him Leo. The connection between Ariana, her sister, and Leo was special, so seeing him injured was especially upsetting. Ariana's father worked hard to treat Leo's wounds, but Ariana could barely eat, her heart heavy with worry. After dinner, Ariana went to the shed with a blanket to cover Leo. She hoped he would wake up soon, but he stayed unconscious. The next morning, with Leo still unresponsive, Ariana's father decided to take him to a vet outside the village. Ariana couldn't stay behind and went with them. She gently rested Leo's head on her lap, whispering hopes for his recovery. At the vet's office, the doctor quickly assessed Leo and found that he needed emergency surgery because of a head injury. Ariana's father, who had treated Leo's visible wounds, learned that the injuries were severe and needed immediate care. Ariana was heartbroken and cried, but her father assured her that there was still hope. The surgery was nerve-wracking, but soon the doctor came out with good news. The operation had gone well, and Leo would be okay. Ariana, feeling immense relief, couldn't wait to see him. When they visited Leo, he was still out cold. Ariana suggested they bring snacks and toys for him, and her dad agreed. When they returned, they were overjoyed to find Leo awake and wagging his tail. Seeing Ariana seemed to make Leo feel safe again. The family was thankful and knew that even though Leo wasn't their official pet, he was a beloved part of their lives. 2 days later, while walking home from school with Leo, Ariana and her sister suddenly faced a menacing wild wolf. Ariana quickly stepped in front of her sister, trying to protect her. At that moment, Leo made a fierce bark, a sound he had never made before. As the wolf lunged at them, Leo sprang into action, bravely biting the wolf's neck to shield the girls. The wolf, shocked by the sudden attack, swatted Leo with a powerful paw, sending him crashing to the ground. The girls were terrified as they watched Leo struggle against the wolf. Just when it seemed like there was no hope, Leo mustered the strength to get back up. He charged at the wolf again, this time biting its leg and holding on with all his might. The wolf, now subdued, lay still on the ground. Leo, exhausted and breathing heavily, lay beside the wolf but was still alive. The girls ran to Leo, hugging him tightly and crying tears of gratitude. They promised never to let him go again. In the weeks that followed, Leo made a full recovery. Life for the children returned to normal, and Leo became even more confident around them. He played happily and continued to be a loyal friend, making them feel safe and cherished. Hazel and her family were deeply grateful for Leo's bravery and knew he would always be a beloved part of their lives. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on the Wildwonder.